Going forward, we'll do more. So today we are going to be talking about the editing process, which normally at school is a whole lot easier. I have my editing stations all around the perimeter of the classroom and the seats all in the middle of the classroom, and you guys go to edit and I just kind of walk in a circle around the classroom, looking over shoulders, asking questions, offering advice, giving help. Here in internet land, it's going to be a little bit different. And the first thing is we kind of have to get the software. We have to get something that's going to help us to edit. And we really have two options for this. And I'm going to kind of walk you guys through both of them. The first one, which is a little bit of the more full featured, and the one that we have at school, is Adobe Premiere. If you have a laptop or a desktop, a Windows or a Mac, laptop or desktop at home that you own, not one of the ones that the school provided, then you can get Adobe Premiere for free. The school has paid for it so that every student has access to the software. Um, and I'm gonna make some how-to videos tonight, um, and post them and kind of do the step-by-step process because I already have Premiere installed on my computer, so I can't really do it again for you now. I'm gonna have to make a video later, but I am gonna kind of walk you through the little bit of the process of what to do. And so the first thing is if you want Premiere on your computer, I'm going to put the link a little bit later, is to get Creative Cloud. And Adobe Creative Cloud is free to download. It says start your free trial, but that's just you download the software for free. And basically, what it is there it is. Oops, so tiny. Is it's this program here, and when you open it, it'll ask you to log in with your Adobe ID, and your Adobe ID is basically just your student ID at student.antiochschools.net email address. So anytime you see any kind of like login to Adobe thing, you just use your school, the school provided email address, and it will recognize you as having paid for, even though you didn't pay for it, the district paid for it, paid for the software. So if you and Creative Cloud is not really, and this software doesn't really have anything in it at all. It's just kind of like the manager. Creative Cloud is like the manager. You download it, and then you see down here, I can install any of these other pieces of Adobe software. These are the ones I've already installed. I already have all of these on my computer because I use all of these. These ones I don't use so much, so I didn't install them. And then here I could just open them, or maybe it says up to date. It keeps them all updated. So Creative Cloud is kind of the hub where you can download everything. So once you install Creative Cloud and you log in, then it'll say install, and you would go find Premiere and click install on that, Premiere Pro, or you could install Photoshop if you want, in the big list of all the things to install. So it's pretty easy that way. Um, I think, yeah, I think you're right, Taha. Once you graduate, then the district won't be providing you access to these anymore. I think that the student price on them is $20 a month. $20 a month when you're a college student gets you access to all of them, and then when you're out of school, I think it bumps up to something like $50 a month for all of them. It's not cheap software. Adobe is the industry leader, and it's expensive stuff. But if you were to get a job with editing, then hopefully your company would pay for it. If you're freelancing, then you know what, that's just part of doing business, but it is a tax write-off, right? If you're a wedding videographer or photographer and you need to pay your $20 a month for Photoshop, that's a business expense. And you can write that off and lower your tax base, which is always good. We don't like paying taxes. It's not fun. So once you guys get Creative Cloud and log in and download and install Premiere, Premiere looks like this right here. Here we are. And so this, that's kind of weird. This is Premiere. I've opened it up, and right now you can see kind of, if you already have a version of Premiere Pro, of an old one, you can totally use that. You don't need to get the latest one. It's might have tiny differences. Most of the differences are behind the scenes and not big features that we'll be messing with. So if you have an old version, 2 years old or whatever, it'll still basically work the same way. So once you start Premiere, it comes up with this page. Here you can see old projects that I've already worked on. just kind of practice stuff for me to get things ready. But what you guys are going to have to click is new project. You guys are going to be starting new projects. And when you do that, it brings up this window here. I know it might be a little bit hard to see. Oops. But it's asking to name the project and where would you like the project to be saved. So definitely as editors, we want to make sure that we're very clean and organized. So what I like to do is I create a folder called, inside my videos folder, I'm going to make a new folder and call it Wake Up, which was the name of my production that I had on my slate. And I'm going to put all of my clips in there later, all my footage in there. But right now, I'm going to put my footage, my project in there. So I double click the Wake Up, and I'm going to name my project Wake Up Project. And that's all you really need to do. All this stuff down here is nonsense. Just worry about the name and the location. Make sure that your project gets saved to a spot that you'll remember, and the name is something you remember, and push OK. All right, and then we open up, and this is what it's going to try and do all sorts of nonsense that I don't really need. So here, this is what Premiere looks like when you start. It's basically big and gray and empty. And we need to, as you can see down here, it says import media to start. The first thing I need to do is get those clips that I shot, get them on my computer, and then put them into, we need to import them into Premiere. So to do that, like I said, I need to make sure that I take my footage. Here's all my footage right here. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put it inside the folder I just made, the Wake Up folder. So here's my project that we just made. I'm going to put all my footage in there as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click in this import box, or I can right click and hit import. I can do that. I can click File and import. Those are all perfectly fine ways to go and basically tell Premiere, hey, here's the videos that I want to use in my project. And here they are in the Wake Up folder. So I'm nice and organized. I got my project right next to all my footage. I'm going to open that bad boy up, and it's going to import. And as you can see, I can see all my footage down here with the little thumbnails. So I've got my slates, and it's really easy to tell which shot it is that I need for what I'm doing. Some people go with just the list like this, but I like to have the big thumbnails so I can see my slates much easier. So I'm going to find shot one. Even if you shoot out of order, it's usually recommended to edit in order as much as possible and kind of keep things flowing that way. So I'm going to find shot one, take one right here. And this is my preview window. This is where I can watch all my footage. If I just double click any of these, they just kind of, oops, don't miss, double click, they load up to show the footage of what you're looking at. So I can just look at shot 4, I can double click and look at shot 3, I can double click and look at shot 1 or shot 5. So I'm looking at double click, looking at shot 1. And what I'm going to do is I can click play here, or I can hit spacebar.
Rolling. All right, this is shot 1, take 1. Action.
And I'm going to stop it right there. Right after you hear that action call, yeah, Logan, it's fine. You can call it whatever you want. And Malik, Premiere Pro, I think, yes, is the best editing software, especially since it's the one we're going to be using at school. But I'm going to show you guys another option if you can't use Premiere Pro on your computer. But we're just going to go to do this one first together. You guys are going to do this. Next class is when we're going to actually. But right now, we're just talking about how to use them and how to get them. I don't need you guys to actually be doing this yet. Anyway, so I get my clip and I play it. And right when I hear that action call,
action.
Now that is the moment where the scene actually begins, right? That's the part where I want my audience to actually see. I don't want my audience to see anything that previously happened, the slate and the actors getting ready and the standby and all that noise. That's not for the audience. That's for us as the crew. So right now, after the action call, that is when the scene becomes good. And so what I'm going to do at this moment is I'm going to come down here and click this mark in button, or I can just push I on the keyboard for in. So remember an in point. And you see that when I click I, everything before that point stays dark gray, but everything after that point turns light gray. And so the computer is remembering, hey, everything before that in is garbage, and everything after that in is good. So now if I roll it,
Cut.
okay, there's my cut call. I don't want my cut call in my movie, so I'm actually going to rewind a little bit using my left arrow key. There we go. And so now I'm before the cut call, and what I'm going to push now is right next to in, you have out. So instead of clicking out, because I don't really like to use the mouse that much, I like to use my keyboard. I push O for out, and I and O are right next to each other. I for in point and O for out point. You see that everything after the out point has gone to dark gray. So only the things between in and out are the beautiful, usable footage that I want my audience to see. So I set an in at the beginning and I set an out at the end, and I can click and drag this down here to this empty timeline. And when I drop it, it'll actually make the timeline. And now I have my footage down there, and it'll only be the piece between the in and the out. Right? No action call, no cut call, no slate. So this is the program window. You see it says program right up here. The program window is basically tied to the timeline. Whatever is on the timeline down here goes in the program window up here. Okay, so I've got just my beautiful acting right here, piece of footage. And there we go. And that's shot one. And basically we're just going to rinse and repeat that, until our movie is done. So now I'm going to go find shot two. Here it is.
2, take 1.
It's my wife.
Action.
There's my action call. So after the action call, I'm going to push I for an in point. And I'm not even going to wait for the cut call. I'm just going to, hey, they left my feeder out of the shot. That's the end of the shot. So I'm going to push O for my out. You see there's my little gray area there. Drag it on down and just stick it right next to shot one. It should kind of snap. I can always zoom in my timeline, make life a little easier. And then anytime you put a new shot, it's good to roll back a second or two and make sure everything went okay. There we go. So no action calls, no cut calls. Timing seems pretty good. Let's find shot three. There it is. You don't even have to watch it. You can just scrub forward until you find it. Okay, there's my running in. So I'm going to back up a little bit. Set my in, roll it. And right there, set my out, drag it down. Boop. Now shot four. I know that, see, I have shot four, take one, and I have shot four, take two. And generally, the only reason you do a second take is because your first take is bad. So I usually, if I see two takes, I'm going to go for the last take. Whatever the final take is going to be the winner. Let's see here. There's my action call, set my in.
Oh, come on, come on, come on.
Right there's going to be my out. Drop that in. And then roll it, make sure it looks good.
Oh, come on.
You know what? It looks like I moved my hands away from the keyboard a little bit at the end of shot three. I'm going to shorten that shot up a little bit. I'm going to click and drag this shot, shorten it up a little bit, and then slap that over. There we go. I like that timing better. And let's see, zoom out a little bit so we can see the next space. And find shot five. Here it is.
Action.
In and out. Drop it in. And now we should have our full complete movie.
Oh, come on, come on, come on.
There it is. Perfect. So it's a pretty simple process. This is what we're doing is we're creating a rough cut. We're just worried about like the timing and getting the shots in order and getting rid of action and cut calls. We're not going to worry about putting in music or titles or sound effects yet. That is something you do after you get the timing of all your shots, and you get all your shots in your timeline and it's all perfect. If you accidentally like have a cut call in there and then you put your music in and you adjust it, everything, the timing of everything's gonna be thrown off. So we want to make sure that our timing and our shots are clean and beautiful and perfect before we go and add any kind of special fun stuff, titles and music and sound effects and all that kind of stuff. Um, the best thing about editing on a computer, as opposed to the old style of film editing, like using scissors and tape and film stock, is the undo feature. So let's say that I was bringing down a shot. All right, I'm grabbing and dragging down shot 5, and I accidentally drop it right here in the middle of the rest of my movie, and now my movie looks like this. Like that, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then it goes to this shot. What's going on here? So I'm like, oh, that shot doesn't belong there. Let's drag that out and put it at the end where it belongs. Oh, but now I got this big hole there. Ugh, now I got to go find shot 1 again and clean up. No, I don't. Right? If I mess something up, if I accidentally, move a piece over, and I could totally jank this timeline up. But that's why edit undo is your best friend. Premiere holds 99 steps of undo. So I can just keep hitting undo until I go to before I made the mistake. There we go. And now I can bring this shot down and put it where it actually belongs. So I tell people, if you make a mistake, don't try to fix the mistake, because that's going to take a lot more time and effort than to just undo the mistake, right? You don't have to like move the piece over and try and repair the damage you've caused. Just undo the damage, right? If you had the chance to like rewind a car accident and not get in the accident, that's much better than getting in the accident and then taking the car to the auto body shop and paying all that money. So I always tell people undo, edit, undo, Control Z is your best friend. So this is kind of the basics of editing in Premiere Pro, which if you have your own laptop or desktop, Windows or Mac, would be the preferred way to edit. And this is how we'll be editing when we get back to school. Right, and you remember I have all my footage and my project in the same place. I made a folder called Wake Up, and I have my footage and my project all nice together, all organized. Premiere really likes it when you keep things organized. Plus, it makes it easy when the project is done to delete it, because videos, they take up a not insignificant amount of space. The project itself is very tiny. It's only a couple. It's like the same as a Word document, but the footage is very big. Okay, so that is how you can edit in Premiere. The other way you can edit, if you don't have a computer that you think can make that happen, is Adobe's mobile editing option, which is Premiere Rush. You see it's the purple RU down there. And this program, this app is free. It does have some limitations, but again, if you log in with your student ID at student.antiochschools.net email address as your Adobe ID, it removes all those limitations. It assumes that you've paid for the subscription, and it gives it the app all the features for free. So thank you, Antioch Unified, for paying for us to have Adobe Rush for free. So the same thing here. When we start, we have to create a project. I'm going to name my project Wake Up because that's the name of my movie. If you named your movie something different, that's totally okay. And now it's going to ask us select media to create a new project. So I'm going to go to my camera roll right there, and I'm going to select shot 1, and I actually have take 2 on this phone. So I'm going to hit create, and it's going to build my project and show preview. I don't know why it does. There we go. And then I actually like to do this too. So you can see it's kind of like a really simple version of what we had on Premiere Pro, but it's
shot 1, take 2.
It's kind of the same thing. And you can zoom in and out of the timeline by kind of pinching and dragging just like normal, and you can kind of slide across. You don't really have a preview window, but you can still get the job done. So what I like to do is roll my footage, and I'm going to find that action call. I can kind of see that little spike in the audio down there.
Action.
Pause it there. And what I can do is, actually, let's see here. Well, maybe I can't. Maybe I have to have this off. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and hold on the front of the clip and slide it. And you see I'm kind of deleting that footage from the front of the clip. Like the all that footage, you can see at the top kind of what's getting deleted. And I'm going to go right to that line there because that's after the action call. So now when I let go, kind of jumps over. But now my footage will start after the action call. Perfect. Now I just need to stop it on the cut call.
Cut.
There's that cut call. So I'm gonna get rid of that cut call and click and hold on the right edge of the clip and then slide it. So I'm getting rid of the stuff after the cut call. And now I should have just the beautiful middle. There we go. So now I hit the blue plus in the lower left, add media, camera roll, go find shot dose. There she is. There it is. Shot 2 comes in, and we basically are going to rinse and repeat everything here. So there's the action call. We're going to slide that over, and then we're going to find where I want the out to be, which is going to be right about there. And we're going to slide that over, and then we're going to watch it and make sure it's good. There we go. Shot 3. Moving on. Shot 3, there she is. Add that. Same thing. Find where I want the scene to begin after the action call. Don't want to hear the action call. That would be bad. Go sit down at the computer and get rid of the cut call. Definitely don't want the cut call in there.
Cut.
Oh, there's a cut call. Woo, good thing I checked. Good thing I checked. Let's get rid of that cut call. Got to click and hold and shorten that up. There we go. Don't leave. Ah, clean. Much better. No cut call. Go find shot 4, take 2. Add that. Jump forward until we see the action call. Right here, I think is where it is.
Action.
Right there. Slide this to the blue line. And then roll it until I find the out. Right about there. Shorten up the back end. Watch it. Make sure it's clean. No action and cut calls.
Oh, come on, come on, come on.
Okay, that's clean. And then shot 5. Let's see, action calls right there. So we're going to shorten to that point. And then where's that cut call? There it is. Get rid of you. Cut call and roll it.
Cut.
Oh, still in there a little bit. Get out of there, cut call. Nobody likes you. There we go. That'll do it. Beautiful. So now I've got my whole movie, and we basically made the same thing on the phone that we did on the computer.
Oh, come on, come on, come on.
There you go. And it's pretty easy. Same thing here. You can just rearrange shots. You can just drag them to different spots and they kind of all snap together. You can't really overwrite anything in this one, which is kind of nice. Like in Premiere, you can accidentally like delete stuff. But here you can't really do that. You kind of can't really mess anything up too bad. You just kind of keep the shots in the order they need to be. You could have multiple layers, it looks like here as well, but we don't really need to worry about that just yet. Let's see if we try to slap that back in there. Does it do it right? Oh yeah, just got to rearrange a little bit. So yeah, it's a pretty nice little quick editor. If you don't, and it'd probably be even nicer on a tablet, to be honest. Doing it on my phone is a little cramped, but it's definitely doable. You still have your undo button up here at the top. So if you make a mistake, you can undo it, which is nice. I'm not sure what even, let's see, bug request, whatever. Make sure you have that preview turned on. I don't know how you would edit without the preview. That would be really hard. Show the preview for sure, as you're editing. So those are 2 options that you have for editing in our class. If you can, I would highly suggest doing it in Premiere, it's a lot more full featured. It's a lot easier to see what you're doing. You can have your preview window and the same time as your program window and watch your full movie. And it's going to enable us to do a lot of things a little bit easier going forward. But if you don't have a computer, no problem. Rush will get the job done, and you can do it in a rush. That's why they named it that, right? If you need a quick turnaround, it's definitely doable. Let's see here. Oh yeah, actor of the year. Not at all. There's a way you can lock the video so you aren't able to delete anything on accident. If you're talking about in Premiere, yes, that is true. You can lock a layer, but then you can't modify it at all. And I don't know if you can lock. I don't think you can lock just a single clip. So, we will talk about locking layers and things like that kind of in more advanced topics. But right now, I just kind of wanted to show you guys the two methods that we'll be editing in this year. And basically, your assignment today is, let me create it for you right now, is going to be to choose one of those and install it. You don't have to edit anything just yet. You could definitely mess around and put it through its paces, but I don't have any video projects due from you. Your assignment is to choose an editing program. And here we'll go Teams, so it's a little bit cleaner and easier to read maybe. Choose an editing program. Take a screenshot of either Premiere installed on your computer or Rush installed on your mobile device. So that's it for the assignment, is to pick one and install it. Follow the link that I've put in the assignment to install Creative Cloud on your computer. Use the free trial link and put in your student ID at student.antiochschools.net email address and password as your Adobe ID, and then you can install Premiere. Or you can go to your phone's app store and search Adobe Rush, open it, log in with student ID at student.antiochschools.net email and password, and you'll have that. And so that is really it for the assignment, is really just to choose an editor and which one you think that you would like to use. And then the other thing is our exit ticket today is Flipgrid. I'm kind of liking Flipgrid. I like seeing your faces. Kind of helps me to know who you guys are. So here's a link to the Flipgrid if you want to do it on your computer. Here is, no, don't download it, dummy. Here is the QR code if you want to do the Flipgrid on your phone. And just basically tell me which editor you're going to use in the Flipgrid. Say, hey, I'm going to use Premiere because it's bigger and fancier and I want to learn it. Or, oh, I'm going to use Rush because it's small and quick and dirty and I like moving fast and getting things done efficiently. It's a little simpler to use. And I can do everything on my phone and don't have to have any other devices. So the exit ticket, once you get that exit ticket done on Flipgrid, you're clear to go. And then just complete the assignment, which is to install one of the editors, either Premiere on your computer or Rush on your phone. And we'll stop recording there.